I'm back, guys. Just thinking about that reading I did earlier, and some things came up. We're just gonna try to do a short one here. We'll see how short it is. Yeah, but I was just thinking about some of the had a lot of things come up, and now they're not apparently. Let's see what kind of read I was gonna. I haven't done dowsing in a while, and I was very into it when I got into SRT. I'm not really getting anything. Is it 38? Is there another deck? No? Ah. Divine Masters is the 38 deck. I love this deck. It's beautiful, and I love the cardstock. I'll just do a quick shuffle because, like I said, everything's been shuffled. It's weird, I felt something on my arm, but there's nothing there. We start with Serapis Bay, paradigm shift, activation to grow, make the necessary change. I'm not super familiar with all the Divine Masters, so I do like to read from the book. We have Sanat Kumara, open channel, signs, codes, downloads, and sacred information. And we have Lakshmi and Ganesh, prosperity, vibration. You are attracting health, wealth, and happiness. So this was the top card. And this is what's on the bottom with the Lemurians. Clairvoyance activated. It feels like a lot of light energy. Let's see what this card says. I guess it's going to be way back here. Sanat Kumara, open channel, signs, codes, downloads, and sacred information. Sanat Kumara, which means eternal youth, is an advanced cosmic light, which means eternal. It just reminds me of that song, my youth is yours. Something would jump, I don't know, something with waterfalls. Just came to me. Which means eternal youth. Sanat Kumara, which means eternal youth, is an advanced cosmic light being who is dedicated to helping the earth rise up toward the light. Well, thank you for your service. He is deeply passionate about supporting those on earth who feel called to fulfill their life's purpose and make a difference. The brilliant guardian of light has been acknowledged in many different traditions and even has a temple dedicated to him in Kyoto, Japan. Sorry if I'm not really sorry, but I might be butchering some of these words, and that's just what is happening. Legend has it that he came from Venus 6.5 million years ago and is eternally 16 years old due to the atmospheric difference between the two planets. In the Ascended Master's teaching, Lord Kumara is the regent of earth and humanity, the head of the spiritual hierarchy, and governs the spiritual guides and supports the earth's evolution. Much of the information about him states that he resides upon the etheric plains in Shambhala, the city of light hidden in the Himalayas. Sanat Kumara is also the head of Venetians and the twin flame of Lady Venus. Your message: hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, and having a sense of being having a sense that beings are visiting you is in sleep or meditation are all signs that you are receiving downloads from heaven. Right now, you are an open channel to source codes and information that can help you understand how your life can be more aligned to the energy of purpose and meaning. If you are feeling highly psychic, intuitive, or feeling a particular message rising up from within, this card is here to help you trust in what you are receiving and encourage you to follow through on the guidance. Whether you are experiencing more signs, downloads, or spiritual experiences than usual, or if it's an entirely new experience for you, it's important to take some time in contemplation and meditation now. Signs are wondrous moments, but it's also important to reflect on them, for they can have crucial life affirmations informing information that will support you on your path. Know that you are being guided and were born to be a light. A couple things are coming up. Is one, like it's talking about taking time to learn, get a whole message instead of just being like cool enlightenment and then just moving on. Like there's probably a lot deeper layers to it, and I got that with that last reading. Is like I had a bunch of little things kind of come up that I was like just getting more energy, more messages. I was getting some other things, but I'm not now. We got Lakshmi and Ganesh, prosperity vibration. You are attracting health, wealth, and happiness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 maybe. So what's the message that I don't know. One thing that it said here, you're born to be light, but the truth is that you are light before the birth, before death, after death. It's all right now. You are light. You are just awareness. And it's your choice to choose to be and literally manifest anything you want in your life. And we're born into these systems, family starting first, and you're basically learn everything that your parents know and exactly how they live, and so you live how they live, and they live how their parents lived, and that's like it just keeps getting passed down until somebody decides to do it different, to live different, to redefine their kind of like a state of being. I don't like saying that because there's really no state of being. There's just being. There's just this. But there is a like condition to live a certain way, to change your associations. But that comes with like doing this. So, and action just happens. But I personally don't try to force action. Like I'd really love to be practicing the piano or just playing on it. And here I am doing this because this is what's more exciting in the moment. I really want to go take a shower, but this is what was most exciting. And honestly, it's kind of weird because this deck came out and I'm not super like, I don't know, I don't feel like super excited about this deck because these figures, these aspects are aspects, and it's like a lot of people think of them as like higher than ourselves, like a teacher, but the student becomes the teacher. And these, I just feel like what if all these are just truly aspects of yourself, and they're the ones that are coming up to the surface. Just kind of maybe confirming the open channel that you are. The signs, codes, download sacred information. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge from my past, and it literally does feel like a purpose and a passion to just want to share that. But at the same time, like, and I've spoke on this before, that nothing really needs fixed because everything is working out exactly as it needs to. So it's like, don't worry. And I think for me personally, one of my things had always been that I wanted to be an open channel. Like I really, like, this was what I wanted, to be a channel for the divine. And that came from that cult that I was in, where I actually, like, a lot of my faith came from there, but I don't think they ever expected me to live by it. Excuse me. And I was talking about in the last reading, prosperity, like, decide that you're prosperous and ignore the circumstances, ignore the 3D reality. That doesn't mean sleep all day and not do anything. It just means it's not as real as it seems, and it's like an echo anyways. So I don't know. But when I was in that place, there was a lot of prayers about being a channel for the divine, and I took it very seriously. And anytime anything was going on that didn't match that, I would call it out, and then they would basically call me a liar and stuff. Yeah, so I think it's kind of showing me that I made it. I feel like this is more personal reading, but that kind of goes into, it's not really personal because nothing is personal. Like, this reality that I'm experiencing is my reality, even there's no really me, not really a me, except the sense of me, which is mostly like the mind ego, the ego that the mind creates, sense of me. But it's like we're all in our own realities. And one of the things that I did early on, maybe like 2 years ago, I literally like drew art. I might have to show you that one, but it was basically all different versions of me in different parallel realities and dimensions, and there's infinite ones, and so we get to choose where we're at on that whole spectrum. We get to choose where we're at, and you can choose negative thoughts and stay in negative vibration, or you can choose to let the shit go and just uplift yourself. And I think sometimes that can feel unfulfilling because it's I want to say it's like a lonely path, and it kind of is, because nobody can do it for you, and it appears as though nobody can do it with you, but we're all working together to do it anyway, so we're not actually as alone as we are. It's just another, like, illusion. Let's see if another card wants to come out on this. We got light activation, acceleration, brilliance, stand in your light, Hathor. The card is very similar in colors to the other one. Oh, something flipped, I saw. Buddha, heightened awareness, make peace with your thoughts and the world. That's literally what I was just talking about. And I know there's a bunch of different colors in this deck, but these cards are just very yellow. And the rainbowy, we have Guru Ram Das, miraculous moment, harmony surrounds you, expect miracles. Expect the unexpected. Expect miracles. And I don't know, just like a lot of light here. It is just about making peace with the world. Even if the world doesn't feel like it's peaceful or wants to make peace with you, or that you have to stand up for yourself by yourself. That's not easy, especially like in my experience when you're 18 and don't really know that you're being manipulated, and then they're telling you that because you're not believing them and you believe in these other truths that you're, you know, that you're failing God. And I think that was like one of the biggest heartbreaks, because even though they said I was failing God and I believed that, I still stood up for my truth and I left. And I came back because whatever kind of cycle that I was in, or still in the manipulation, and just feels like making peace with your thoughts in the world. And the figure here, we'll call it Buddha, but the figure here has their eyes closed, so that they're not focusing on what's right before them. They're focusing on the fire, the passion, that is like their core, is their core vibration. And it's talking about standing in your light here, acceleration and brilliance. It's a very light message, and it just seems that by doing readings like this, is that when you serve, the universe serves you. And while not many people want to sit here and listen to this or whatever, because they want the drama, they want the dopamine hits, I think it's, for me at least, if even though that like electric kind of, it's just the dopamine, you know, when you watch drama stuff, that it's like electrifying. So when you're not watching it, it's quiet, it's peaceful, and it's not normal, and it can feel boring. But if you can just stand in your light and kind of ignore what's before you and expect miracles. Like when I first started really going inside and working, I mean, I was like, still am fully dedicated, but it's like I've shifted a lot now, and doing different things. Still reading cards, but Um, it is really about making peace, because it's your like simulation, your reality. And even when I see somebody that's, they are the version, my version of them, kind of thing. So when I see anything in the world, I'll often try to kind of apply it to me. And I know when a lot of readers will say, only take what resonates, and a lot of stuff won't resonate, or don't try to make it fit. And I don't, just trust your intuition. And if it feels good, then let it feel good. It doesn't have to have a meaning or anything like claiming you're some being because you're like suddenly aligning with this Buddha energy or half hour energy. Like, that is an aspect of who you are. That's like a diamond. There's all these tons of facets, and they are all the same diamond. So if we're each a facet in our own reality, we're also part of, I thought I heard my cat, part of the whole, part of everybody. And so one time in one of Bashar's, I don't know what to call them, one of his talks, he was talking about, somebody asked him what he was working on, and he said, like, it sounded like some kind of, what is it, on Star Trek, they have those, like, VR, hologram, something, I don't know why, but I can't think of it. And it sounded like he was creating something like that, where you could go in and you could basically create a world like this that's super believable, and you could learn these lessons. And so I was like, well, then, and anything that anybody ever talks about, if it's said, it's possible. And so I literally said, well, how do I know that I'm not just an Asani, and I'm taking a break from work or whatever, and I'm just in this machine, here to learn lessons. And whether that's true or not, it's similar to all of the things that, like, we're here to learn. And there's death, of course, which is very scary to a lot of people. I personally have dealt with a lot of death, and it's not easy. But I truly believe that every time you feel, or like a thought comes up about whatever, it could be a dog, a dad, or that's literally them visiting you, or you guys are connecting in the spirit. And so I've never thought that death means separation, because that's another thing, is like, there is no separation. So for me, death has been not as hard, just because it's just seemed to be a constant thing in my life, to be completely honest, from when I was little all the way up to, just recent almost. And that's just death of like people, animals, or letting go of parts of yourself, past memories, thoughts, ways of being, friends, habits, etc. That's all death. But I used to role play a lot, so I'd write these characters and stories, and you get very attached to the characters. And I'm sure anybody who's ever written can agree with that. Or even if you read a book, you get really attached to the characters. And sometimes if they die, like one show is coming up for me. Like one of my favorite shows, I just don't want to say it in case anybody hasn't seen it, but write it. it's a series, and at the end, one of the main characters dies, and it's just like it's just it makes me cry a lot when I see it, because it's like, aw. But anyways, those characters are, I would play them sometimes for years. I had one of them for like 20 years, and when you kill them off, or when they die or something happens, it's very emotional. And I think doing that hobby for so long, that it just really helped me to not attachment kind of happens, so it's not like trying not to be yourself, but it's realizing that you just wake up after you know, like if I was in this machine on the Sani ship over their planet or whatever, and I would just wake, when I go to sleep, I just wake up. It's literally, I think death is exactly like that, and Bashar speaks of that, but it is literally like just waking up from a nap, or from your nightly slumber. Or in all my writing, it would just be like, for that, because I'm creating a whole new character, generally it would be, you know, waking up with like a full clean slate, and like, what do I want to do now? And I think that's kind of where feel like that's the direction I'm moving in, is like, if I could wake up every day and just not be attached to any memories, just not be attached, not have so much association, so that when you see, I mean, that's how we learn, but if you see something, a lot of times it'll trigger a memory or trigger a response. And so some of those associations I feel like could definitely be cleaned up, but I think a lot of times when you just see something that seems out of alignment, that's all that needs to be done, is you've seen it, and now your psyche is like, yeah, we don't need that, and it just gets binned. Like, I mean, you have to let your imagination do the work. You can't, it seems crazy, but it's literally like everyone tells us, you're too old for that, you're too old to be thinking all this stuff. But it's, I feel like it's living the way we're supposed to be, is letting your imagination, your intuition, your passion, like and from moment to moment, just choose what makes you happy. So if you're sitting here making a reading, like, what out of everything you could do, what would be most exciting? And I apparently is making these videos here, and I don't know who is watching or listening. I know I don't have that many viewers currently, but that's just what it is. I think that part of that is from a belief, because there has to, you know, you ask yourself, what would I have to believe to be having this experience? And I think the belief is that there's not very many people who would actually grasp what I talk about and stuff. But that's a belief. That's there's not even any proof to that. That's just a belief, and so you can let that belief go. And sometimes you need to dig deeper and be like, well, what do I have to believe that? And I don't know. That would feel like somebody kind of told me I was an accident or something, or that I can't have this, and it just reminds me of so much stuff on the internet that's like, why not you? So why not you? Be what you want to be, and if that's like something else in 5 minutes, then it's something else in 5 minutes. So all these characters in this deck, I think they're all look, I just cut the deck on Kali Ma, Divine Severance. Cut the cords to drama, fears, and limitations. And that's literally what I'm talking about. miraculous moment. And I think that is a miracle. Like, literally, like, it's literally a miracle to be able to see the light and choose, like, to stick your tongue out, to poke your middle finger up. I don't know, you don't have to be you don't have to put out that energy, but you're allowed to feel your feelings. So if you do feel upset about it, allow that and create space around it so that it can, like, so you can just feel it. And then, like, as soon as you create space around it, it softens. And yeah. And then you can let it go. And it's, if anybody ever wants help releasing anything, or just, I don't know, I'm here to help, as an act of service, to help uplift the consciousness. Not that I think it needs uplifting, because it's exactly as it's supposed to be. What is that? Some reason the word frivolous, it almost makes life seem frivolous. Maybe that's not the word I'm thinking of. Like, it's all about learning the lessons. That's what I was talking about yesterday in the Ten of Pentacles. So everything is, there's a drop of gold in every moment. And can you extract it? Just can you? Would you, if you could, extract a drop of knowledge out of every experience in your life? When? Joan of Arc. Stand up for what you believe in. What does it say? Stand up for your beliefs. So if you feel something to be true, then stand up for it. Do not be afraid. And you don't have to convince people. If they don't like what you have to say, then that's when you make your choice. Like, do you want, I don't want to say non-believers, or it's just, it sucks because you have hope for people, and you want them to see your light. We all want to have that approval. We can give it to ourselves, we can give it to others, but in the end, it's really just about you. And so, I don't know, just take it one moment at a time, one day at a time. And just remember, like, nothing is as it appears, and, like, allow your mind to just, nobody can see in there. Allow it to just dream, and allow yourself to really, like, embrace characters and stories if you want, or movies. And that's what we're doing when we're watching tarot. We're like, it's like listening to a character, and you're like, you start identifying with it. And that's the sense of me. And because it's on based on possibly a memory or desires. Anyways, I love you guys. Make peace with your thoughts and your world. And ignore the circumstances, because they do not matter. Stand in your light, expect miracles, make peace with your thoughts in the world. That's my message for now. I love you guys. Bye.